Behold the testimony of Marcus Allen, a whistleblower from inside the FBI who told on the FBI for religious persecution, for being just all around evil. This is Christopher Wray, Director Christopher Wray's evil FBI insider government with no oversight, even as they go before Jim Jordan in this investigation. Welcome to Doug in Exile. You're about to get an earful on this one because I am pissed.
My name is Marcus Allen. I'm here to speak with the committee about how the FBI weaponized the security clearance process to retaliate against me for protected whistleblower activity.
Okay, so the FBI targeted one of their own. That is Marcus Allen. This is his testimony. There's a happy ending to this.
In late 2021, I raised concerns about the FBI director's testimony about the January 6th Capitol riot, not out of political motivation, but out of a duty to truth and integrity. This act, which I believe to be in the spirit of transparency and accountability, led to unexpected and severe consequences. Almost exactly 3 years ago today, I forwarded news articles to my superiors and others within the FBI about January 6th. It was literally one of my job duties to keep my colleagues informed about open source intelligence related to their cases. As a result of simply doing my job, the FBI accused me of promoting conspiratorial views and unreliable information.
Does that sound familiar? So he questioned Christopher Wray's testimony, sent some articles to his superiors, and then they came after him hard. This is your corrupt Biden administration, super corrupt and evil Christopher Wray. And there's no oversight. You can't vote these people out. They're appointments. And so they act with no oversight. But this hearing with Jim Jordan, where pretty much all you can do is call them names. I hope this guy sues the U.S. government and he gets $1 billion. By the way, this is our taxpayer dollars are paying to persecute this Catholic man. It's going to get worse, guys. This is going to get bad. These FBI people made fun of the Holy Spirit. Stick with it.
The FBI questioned my allegiance to the United States, suspended my security clearance, suspended my pay, and refused to allow me to obtain outside employment or even accept charity.
So first they cut off your finances and they kept him from using like a GoFundMe where you can actually get some financial help.
The suspension ultimately lasted for 27 months. During that time, the FBI held my family and me in indefinite limbo, awaiting a final decision. Determined to not lose our home, my wife and I took early withdrawals from our retirement accounts to survive. It became clear that the FBI, with endless resources, the American people's money, was trying to destroy me financially so that I would give up.
Yeah, the FBI has your money to persecute guys like him, where he has to take an early retirement to pay for his house. See how this works? They have endless resources because of our goodwill in paying taxes. That makes paying taxes nearly immoral.
This is a fear of countless potential whistleblowers who see the personal cost of integrity. There are no words strong enough to describe the impact the FBI's lies about me have had on me and my family. The stress has taken a toll on our health, and our children have suffered, traumatized by the thought of our door getting kicked in or dad not coming home. The battle for truth and justice will cost you, but the arduous good is worth it. The FBI's restoration of my clearance earlier this year, thanks to the efforts of Empower Oversight and the American Center for Law and Justice, was absolute vindication.
So the good news is he was vindicated. The bad news is this will be 1,000 times worse under Kamala Harris. Massive hunting of Catholics. And remember, I'm not a Catholic. I'm a Protestant. This guy here is a Catholic pursued by the government. By the way, Joe Biden's a Catholic too. So this goes to show I have more in common with this Catholic patriot than I do from any Protestant who votes for Kamala Harris, these evangelicals for Harris. I will stand with every Catholic like this guy who falls under worship of the Holy Spirit. Unlike evil Biden, evil Christopher Wray. See what I mean? You have to find your allies, and they're not always drawn along denominational lines.
No other FBI whistleblower has ever had his clearance restored as I did. Garrett O'Boyle and his family are still suffering in the same limbo we were, with no access to due process and no limit on the FBI's ability to delay and avoid independent accountability. How many other whistleblowers remain silent, fearing the same ordeal my family and Garrett's family faced with little hope of vindication at the end?
And this is what the FBI is hoping for. They're going, please, everyone, remain afraid. We don't want other whistleblowers to come out. We want you terrified. Hide in secret. Do not rat us out. That's Kamala Harris. That's Joe Biden. That's Christopher Wray. That's your tax dollars paying the U.S. government to make fellow citizens fearful of telling the truth. All of them, every Democrat vote is going to be used to expand this practice. And it's not just, oh, you go like, oh, yeah, well, that Catholic guy deserved it. No, they're coming for evangelicals. They'll come for Muslims. They'll come for Jehovah's Witnesses. They're coming for everybody.
Despite the stress and uncertainty, I've never once regretted standing up for truth. In fact, I'm grateful for the experience. Indeed, my family and I persevered due to our strength and faith, God's grace, and the sacraments. If you do not worship God, then you will worship something else.
And I just want to hold this guy up as an example of showing, guys, there's worse things than losing your job, like losing your integrity. He's got his priorities right.
You can either serve God or you can serve mammon, but you can't serve both. This has been a purification. While we lost material items, we gained more important things. We've stored up for ourselves treasures in heaven. What we have gained spiritually has far outweighed what was lost materially.
Do you believe that? Do you believe he's just a sucker for believing in God and thinking he's storing up treasures in heaven? Should he just be fighting here on earth and everything's about the earth and about your job and your money and that's all there is to it? This guy his family suffered. He lost a job. He lost income for the Lord.
Adams noted that the framework of our country was built for a moral and religious people and unfit for the governance of any other. James Madison notes the duty to honor God is precedent, both in order of time and degree of obligation to the claims of civil society. Before any man can be considered as a member of civil society, he must be considered as a subject of the governor of the universe.
Our civil society falls under the governor of the universe, and that is God. God first. Your civil society, without faith in God, without belief in God, without being a religious people first, your civil society will crumble and fall, and it's largely a heretical joke if you do not acknowledge the ruler and the great lawgiver of the universe is first. Our society is a dim shadow of his truth.
I recently learned about comments made by Mr. Jeffrey Veltri suggesting I was delusional for believing in and seeking guidance from the Holy Spirit.
Oh, Jeffrey Veltri. See, is that what they're paying the FBI? This Jeffrey Veltri, FBI special agent? This guy's an asshole. We're going to go into him in just a second, because he's one of the ones conducting an investigation on the second attempted shooting in Florida. And I believe he's fraudulent. He's a sweaty, duplicitous pig who made fun of this man's faith in the Holy Spirit. Is that your job with your tax collecting, with the money that you've collected from our taxes to go after this Catholic man? Vetri, let's hear from him. But just don't believe a word he says.
Your data shows that the subject was in the vicinity of the golf course roughly 12 hours before the engagement with the United States Secret Service.
Yeah, whatever. You'll find information on Ruth as soon as it's politically expedient for your side to find it. Until then, you'll be like, uh-oh, didn't find anything to incriminate a Democrat. I already know you. You know what's great? Ron DeSantis is opening up his own Florida-based investigation, aside from the FBI, and he impugns their character here. He basically accuses them of saying, I can't trust them. And by the way, we can't trust the FBI.
Well, the state of Florida is going to do our own investigation. Clearly, there were multiple violations of Florida law. I don't think it's in the best interest of this country to say that agencies like the FBI and DOJ, which are trying to prosecute Trump in South Florida, they're on appeal at the 11th Circuit trying to reinstate an indictment that had been dismissed, that they're the best people to turn around and, one, give us the truth about this defendant.
In short, a FBI Democrat has conflicted interests. They should recuse themselves, is what he's saying. The ones in Florida, they're trying to prosecute Trump. That's the Mar-a-Lago case down there with the documents where they raided. The FBI raided Trump's personal home, went into Melania Trump's underwear drawer, then went into Barron Trump's bedroom looking for documents because Trump would hide his secret documents in Barron Trump's bedroom. That FBI, yeah, they're compromised. Ron DeSantis doesn't trust him. And I love that Ron DeSantis is running his own investigation. Let's get back to Mr. Allen.
Mr. Veltri currently serves as special agent in charge of the Miami field office, but at the time he was an executive at Security Division overseeing security clearance decisions. To Mr. Veltri, I say you can insult me, but you should not mock God. It is an insult to the infinite dignity of God, who is Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, and it is bad for the health of your soul.
Yeah, Mr. Veltri, you can mock the Holy Spirit and mock God. It is his mercy that he holds back his hand on you and on me. That's John 3, what is it? The one after 3:16, the world's already condemned. Jesus didn't come into the world to condemn it. It stands condemned already. If you're not dead because of your sin, it's because God is holding back his hand in an act of mercy. One day you'll learn that. If it's too late, I'm praying for mercy on your soul. You sad, pathetic sack of crap.
Potential whistleblowers, please do not be silenced by the FBI's mistreatment. We are all here to support you if you choose to come forward. The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. Equally important is the awareness and involvement of the American people. This is your country.
It's important, the awareness of the American people. That's why I'm doing this segment on this show. Please send this out to your friends so they can know too what your FBI is doing to this devout Catholic man who ended up being vindicated. Remember, he did nothing wrong. I'm Doug in Exile.